Welcome to this week's episode of Listen to Your Coaches. I'm your coach, Mike Wilkins, here with Coach Will Morrow. And behind the scenes, we have nobody. Young Max is on vacation, so Will and I are rocking this old school, and it's back to just the two of us. This week, we're going to talk UFC 318, a little bit of local happenings, and then we'll wrap it up with the upcoming UFC Fight Night, which is headlined by
René de
Ridder and Robert Whittaker.
Yep.
All right, cool. All right, so Coach Will, let's jump right into it. Let's start at the top. Let's talk Max Holloway, Dustin Poirier, and the BMF title match.
Dude, okay, so couldn't care less about the BMF. But this fight was absolutely incredible, right? It's two legends. They have history, and they put on like one of the most insane fights that you could ever ask for, right? Like, what could be better?
Let's jump off. Should we care about the BMF?
Like us as dudes in our 30s.
Just people.
People.
Just people. Why? Like,
I feel like kids should.
All right, let's switch roles here. You make an argument on why we should care about the BMF title. Why is it good? Why is the BMF title good?
Okay, it's good because it draws casuals in, right? The people who care about like Lil Wayne putting it on the winner or The Rock or like, if you care about like those celebrities in MMA, like it's for you. That's good. We're drawing eyes to it, and it gives the UFC another belt to, headline off of, which you made an even better argument for what that belt should be, but that's irrelevant. But either way, yeah, it's fun and it's good for casuals. I think that's about it. I don't dislike it personally, but I don't care.
Do you think it would be disrespectful to Dustin Poirier and Max Holloway to have this card have been a fight night as opposed to a pay-per-view?
Oh man, that's a complicated question. The short answer is yes, it would have been disrespectful. The long answer is I think that the pay-per-view model's on the way out, and that could have paved the way. But if they don't have that in place, then
right. Yeah. Considering the state in which we're at right now. Okay. Now, I would say the BMF title allowed that to be a 5-round main event on a pay-per-view because as UFC procedure tends to be, main eventing pay-per-views is going to be a title bout. However, the McGregor-Chandler was going to main event that pay-per-view, and that was not going to be a title bout. Also,
wasn't McGregor Diaz a main event, not a title? Am I off on that?
I mean, sure, you're correct. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the thing is I don't think that it makes it any worse not being for a title,
Yeah.
But I mean, again, that's just like my personal opinion on that. And again, their hype doesn't, I mean, I guess I tangentially kind of appreciate it, but it doesn't really affect if I'm going to watch fights. I would have watched that fight if it was the opening prelim, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's interesting to me. So, that's kind of where I'm at on that. What are your thoughts on the BMF?
Well, my pro thoughts for it was that it allowed this fight to be a main event of a pay-per-view. My true thoughts on it as what I feel is it's a little silly. Mm-hmm. The value I see in it for the UFC and the promotion, it's kind of like a wild card. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I think I made this example before. If you play Scrabble, it's your blank tile.
Yeah.
Right? It can be whatever you want it to be.
Any weight class, any guys.
Yeah. It's just it's like the free space on the bingo card, dude. You just get it. So it allows you to because they just changed it up, right? It was, Masvidal and Diaz, and then Masvidal won it, and you know what I mean? And then you would think lineally, then it would carry from there. But, Masvidal went on to lose to Kamaru, who went on to lose to Leon, who went on to lose to Bilal, who went on to lose to JDM. But the BMF title never left Masvidal's hands. It never went to Kamaru or Leon or Bilal or JDM in a very similar fashion that, they put it on the line for Gaethje Holloway.
Now, did you see JDM actually posted about that?
Yeah, I did. I saw that. I saw that Topuria was walking around with one as well. And then JDM posted that he's the lineal BMF champ.
Right.
Which is true. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
In that sense. But the BMF title, I guess, only goes on the line
when the UFC wants it.
When the UFC wants it, right? And that's the value in the BMF
right,
title.
Yeah,
it's legitimately a wild card.
For sure. Sure. So, onto the fight itself. we had predicted that Dustin was going to win.
I did think Dustin would win the fight.
You had accurately predicted that it was going to go to a decision.
Yes.
I was leaning towards Dustin was going to get a stoppage, so I was extra wrong. However, Max did exactly what I called.
That's what I would like to say. Like everything that you were like, oh, these are the adjustments I would like to see him make. He made those adjustments.
Yeah,
like,
for sure. He was very defensively sound early on, right? He like didn't take tons of damage like he did in the second fight, in the first 2 rounds, and he started kicking a lot more, which was super sick. He saw that back kick, which I don't think it really did any damage necessarily. There was one that I thought maybe hurt him a little bit. It's hard to tell, but it keeps Dustin guessing. You know what I mean? And it's just so much more difficult to outbox someone who's also kicking at you. So he did a great job with that. He did a great job of going to the body, weaponizing his pace. I mean, Max just looked incredible. I was very wrong in that I didn't think he was going to be able to make those adjustments, and he 100% did. So that was really cool.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have much to say about the fight. Like, it was just it was a great fight. Mm-hmm. It was an important fight, in the sense of Dustin Poirier. Long time Dustin Poirier fan. I have his DVD Fightville. You've seen that?
Is that the one that was made by Tap Out or?
I don't believe so. So
I
got this DVD, way back in the day, and it like follows him through like the regional ranks.
That's wild.
You know what I mean? Dude. Like I'm not even sure. I haven't watched it in a while, but I'm not even sure he's in the WE. It's for sure before the WEC.
That's so insane.
I don't know if it also gets to the WEC and the UFC. Like I actually kind of feel like it doesn't, but I'm not 100% sure. But like I've been a fan of him since then. I remember I saw him up at Henzo's once. He came up to Manhattan, trained at Henzo's. He was helping Frankie Edgar get ready for somebody. Mm-hmm. Frankie must have been fighting a southpaw.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was up there at a Danaher class once, and I saw him there, and I was like, "Oh shit, that's Dustin Poirier." Yeah.
That's so sick.
But like, yeah, I've just been a big fan of him. I think he's got some of the if I could take his boxing and apply it to like some of our fighters, I think I could really use his boxing to like get a shit ton of takedowns.
Yes.
Dude. Like, yeah.
So that leads me to my next question. Would you have preferred to see Dustin shoot a little bit more?
Yeah, just because I would have liked him to have win this fight. Because not that I'm not a huge fan of Max, too. That's like, this is one of those fights. Yeah. It's like, dude, I just kind of hope everyone has fun. Like,
yeah, exactly.
I mean? Like, you're a big fan of both these guys, as most people are. Like, there's not many people who are not a fan. Like, I feel like there's not many people who are a fan of one who aren't at least a little bit of a fan of the other. Yeah. Right?
I just don't feel like there's a lot of people who dislike either of them. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. I mean, I don't know anybody who dislikes Max Holloway.
Like, I've got my fighters that I dislike, you know what I mean? And, like, I'm sure everyone does, but I've never heard anyone be like, yeah, man, Dustin Poirier just rubs me the wrong way. And it's like, how?
Yeah, same. But yeah. But, like, I just don't have too much to reflect on from the actual fight, other than it was just, like, a good fight.
Yeah. I mean, dude, it was like...
I would have liked Dustin to win just because, like, kind of
right,
like
storybook ending.
Storybook ending.
Max can go on and get more wins.
But, I mean, like, dude, that's big for Max, dude, because he's been in 2 trilogies, and he went 0-3 in the one, and he was 0-2 in this. He's such a good, like... sport about it too. Dude. Like Max, like all the interviews, he's like, yeah, bro, I can't be the guy who goes 0-6 in the trilogy. Like, he's
so likable.
He's just like I feel like that kind of vibe, like, just like, man, he's just such a true fighter, right? Yeah. Because he's like, it's like he talks about his wins and his losses like with the same amount of emotion, which is like it's almost like there's some emotion to it, but not like he's emotionally attached to him. And it's just like, he's just like, yeah, dude, he's just fighting.
He's a true competitor. He just wants to fight.
Yeah. And then, like, obviously he wants to win.
Yeah.
But like, it's more about fighting than winning.
For sure. Also, dude, he's so classy. Like, did you see what he said after he won?
No.
It was just like super brief. He's like, hey, like, glad I won or whatever.
Oh, this is that. Yeah. I mean, I saw everything in Cage. I saw, for sure.
That's just like, like right there. How could you not love that? The dude just won one of the biggest fights of his life. And
bro, on top of that, his son comes in the cage, daps up Dustin, hugs him, and is like, oh, thanks for giving him the opportunity and stuff. And I'm like, dude, like, that's the type of kid you're raising.
Yeah, too? Man. Did you see the thing? I saw this on Instagram after
the second fight when
Dustin,
I believe Max's son's name's Rush.
I couldn't tell you.
I don't know why I think that, but I think that's true. But yeah, he like consoles him after that fight. Yeah, and I'm just like, dude.
Yeah, seeing those pictures
really
of the
cool.
two of them, like back then and then here, like, yeah, again, all just like very cool and just like what you want to see in a fight. And again, can't harp on this enough. The fight itself was incredible, dude. It was so like back and forth, you know what I mean? Like Dustin got hurt, you know, initially, and then hurt Max again at the end of the second, third? I forget which it was, but either way, like we have that nice like back and forth.
I'm glad he jumped to Gilly.
Of course, yeah, of course, he gets to jump the Gilly in it. You know what I mean? We get a little bit of, you know, stand in the center action, just everything you could want, dude. Speaking of which, how shocking is it to you? Like how? Because this is one of the things that stood out to me. How fast they were, even at like minute, 19 through whatever. I'm like, dude, they're faster than I am fresh.
Yeah,
and they're exhausted. Like, how are they doing that?
Oh, that's really amazing.
Like, I mean, you and I have both sparred, 5-5s plenty of times in our lives, and very, very much lower intensity, very much lower stakes, very much whatever. And I could be playing through all of those rounds, and I'm still exhausted at the end. I'm like, how are these dudes in this good of shape? It doesn't make sense to me. It's so awesome. So, yeah, I thought that was a really sick fight. Yeah, man. Real quick, should we just discuss what's next for Max, because he's obviously continuing to fight?
Yeah, I think I would like to see him fight Charles Oliveira.
Interesting. So why Charles over Topuria?
Well, he just fought Topuria last fight. Now, I do think larger frame Max, I do think that makes a difference. You know, how much of a difference, I don't know. But, like, I think, like, that's why you're not, like, just dismissive of a potential rematch in the future, right? Like, it's not just like, man, already done. We don't need to do that again. I do think a larger frame Max does change that a little bit. But, I just feel like it's not even been a year since that fight's happened.
Yeah.
I think like there's some other people in the division who should get it before Max, in my opinion. And I saw that Max and Charles are currently tied for like
most finishes or
the
something
second
like that?
most wins in UFC history. Like they're tied. I think they both have 23.
Okay.
Which I could tell by what's Max's record up there. I can't see. Is it
27-8?
Yeah, and he had 4 coming in. So so they're tied at 23.
Interesting.
All right, so it's just like some cool stuff like that. I don't know,
dude. That's very cool. Yeah,
they were also both former featherweights.
Yeah, both former champions. I mean, different weight classes, but yeah, that's fight I find to be entertainment wise probably like one of the best ones. And I also agree with you that like there are guys who I think are probably more deserving. I think that Sarukian is like next in line, right? So I don't think he fights for it next, but I think that's the case. With that said, I imagine that behind the scenes, and I could very well be off on this, the UFC wants Islam to win and then wants to have Ilya go up and fight him. However,
I thought that was publicly not agreed to not happen.
That's why I think it's going to, because I think the UFC is trying to be like, no, we're not about it, and then like they kind of keep it on the DL, but they're like,
and then what do they do with 155 then? Which
who cares? There's enough
who
talent.
said it? Was it even I think it was even Dana White who was like in the post-fight presser. So I believe it was Dana White made a mention about like 155 being like like the toughest division. I think 170 has something to say about that right now.
Right.
But like long term, traditionally speaking, over like the past 15 years, like it's been like all sometimes it's 145, sometimes it's 170. Back in the day, it used to be 205, but like 155 has tend to have the stranglehold on the
most talented guys.
Yeah.
But I think that they want to make that fight happen, the Ilya Islam fight. And so I think they don't want to shelf Ilya for too long. So they're going to have him fight again. And then when they both, have won, then have them fight each other. And who would they have Ilya fight? Well, we've got a giant star fight here. So I could see that happening, and I think the UFC would think that Ilya would win. And
Dana did say Max was in a great spot for that.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I think behind the scenes, that's what they're trying to do. I think they're going to try to go Max Ilya, hope that Ilya wins, and then have Ilya fight Islam and hope that he beats JDM. Obviously, there's a lot of moving parts there, but that's my little conspiracy theory.
Who drops the belt? What weight would they do it at? And who drops the belt?
I think Ilya drops the belt and they do it at 70.
Damn, that's crazy. So then when Islam slaps him up, what does Ilya do? Does he just go back and try to get the belt back?
Yeah.
Does he drop the belt? Does he drop the belt? Or and someone else fights for it and someone else gets it?
Depends.
Or does he drop the belt and does he make it back in time to fight for?
Right.
To the point where it was like pointless to have him drop it.
It depends how Dana's feeling, but they could also have Armin fight whoever Hollow, or I guess if he just lost, but they could have that.
I think at lightweight right now the lineups. If I was the matchmaker, what I would like to see, in my opinion, what I would like to see is I would like to see Ilya Armin.
Mm-hmm. Me too.
Patty Gaethje.
Yeah.
Oliveira Holloway. Those are the 3 lightweight fights that I would like to see. And then I think the most impressive victor out of the 4 non-title fights gets the next title shot.
Dude, I think that's great. I love that. That's excellent matchmaking right there.
I mean, just, it's something I wouldn't mind seeing.
That's super sick.
Yeah.
All right. Should we move on from this fight?
Yeah. So Paulo Costa, Roman Khabibov. Did you see this fight?
I did. Yeah.
All right. I did too. I was impressed with Paulo Costa. What was man, I'm having trouble recalling my thoughts on Khabibov and just being like, all right, dude, like you got to change something up here. Like, or something. It was like, I felt like he was losing and didn't have any urgency to like win.
Change that. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
It's like, I don't know. Maybe I do know. Maybe I've experienced it in some facets. I certainly haven't experienced it in MMA. I've just never been in that position. But I've been in that position probably in like some grappling matches where, maybe I'm down and I'm like, all right, I need to go big to win right now. And I just like, don't like, not that I don't go big to win. Like I just don't even attempt.
Yeah.
I'm just like, I'm like, okay, like I'm like, you almost like settle for like, all right, like I'm down 8-2. Yeah. I need something big here. I need a pass and a back take.
Yeah.
Right. To overcome this. So I need something big or I need a sub. And like sometimes I'm sure I can't pinpoint a time, but I feel like it's happened to me where I just like don't.
Yeah. Well, sometimes you never feel the opening for it.
Yeah,
I think that's kind of what Kopylov was falling into here. I think with striking especially, it becomes like really frustrating because you try to hit someone and you get hit and you're like, oh man, well I know I got to hit him, because I mean, what's Kopylov going to do? Take him down? Like certainly not. So he's like, all right, I know I got to hit him, but when I try to, I get hit. So what do I do? And you have that little subconscious battle going on the whole time.
I think you got to pull the Bart Simpson out, man, and just start windmilling.
Yeah, man, I agree. Like at a certain point, you just got to go for it, and you have to accept the fact that I'm probably going to get countered on these first 2 shots, but I'm going to. I
did think Khabibov was going to win this fight. I just thought Paulo Costa fell off way too far.
I agreed. Now with that said, I didn't think that Paulo Costa fell off like. I don't think he was like fully washed. You know what I mean? So I gave him like a chance of winning, but I did think that Kopylov was going to win. That's why I put.
You put him on your fantasy team.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later. But yeah, I had some hopes for him, and also kind of along those lines, I thought if he did lose, it wasn't going to be just like first round knockout. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I had some faith in him. With that said, surprised at how good he did look. Back to Jack Slack, where I've been listening to him a fair amount.
I need to start listening to him.
You certainly do. He was talking about
when does he put out,
dude? Like 12 hours after it goes down, and it's like little 20-minute pods. You would love it. And he talks a lot about like jiu-jitsu. Like you think of Jack Slack, you're like, oh, striking, but it's like, nah, dude, he like
for real.
Oh yeah,
because I immediately thought striking. And I thought that's why you were all like loving it.
He was the one. He's the reason why I was talking about the crab ride in the Pantoja fight so much, because he was like, yo, the announcers were talking about like X, Y, and Z. He's like, they didn't talk about the crab ride at all. I was like, yeah, that's a good point. Like that, yeah.
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna get into that. All right, let's move down. Kevin Holland, Daniel Rodriguez.
Dude,
wow.
Banger.
First off, could have been fight of the night.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Arguably, honestly, the fight that got fight of the night, I think, was the third best fight on the card.
Which fight got fight of the night?
Brandon Allen, Marvin Vettori.
No, I didn't see it.
Okay. It was a really good fight.
Yeah.
But I feel like this fight was crazy.
I thought this fight was awesome. And I also thought that the main event
was yeah.
truly incredible. Especially because it went back and forth over 5 rounds like that,
Yeah, there were rounds where they almost both finished each other, which also in this fight, you saw this one?
Oh, yeah, dude, this was sick.
Bro, like, I don't even know, like, first I felt like that if it was on the ground, Kevin Holland had like a distinct advantage. And then I didn't think that way, like towards the end of the fight. I was like, oh, and I feel like even Daniel Rodriguez's coaches felt the same way because like they were like, just get up, get out of there, get out of there, get out of there.
When he was in like top guard,
yeah,
they were like, just stand up.
And now there's a sense of just stand up because like you have him hurt, so make him get back up.
Right.
But there was also then there was like kind of a recovery time, and he was still in there, and he was kind of in a trap triangle. He was in a trap triangle, sat back, and they were like, well, before he got put in that trap triangle, they were like, get out of there, because Kevin Holland was doing I call it a burrito grip, where he's two hands.
Oh yeah.
On one wrist and like pulling it back, and this fight was just so back and forth. Like when it went to the decision, like I was like, I don't know who's going to win this fight.
Very strongly thought that D-Rod was going to win.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Because the third round was so back and forth.
Yeah, yeah. But
right?
I think the first two, am I remembering this right? I do remember thinking that D-Rod was going to win. So the third one was like the
I believe, in my memory, I wish we could pull up the scorecards. In my memory, Kevin Holland won the first round.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
I recall Kevin Holland winning the first round. Now,
you're probably right, dude.
Like, and then he lost the second round.
Mm-hmm.
And then I felt like Daniel Rodriguez, because D-Rod almost finished him in the second round. Are those all 28, 29s up there?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So Kevin Holland did win a round.
Yeah.
And it was the first round.
Okay.
In my mind.
Okay.
Did you think it was potentially the third?
Dude, I can't really remember, to be honest.
I'm pretty certain it was the first round. And then in the second round, D-Rod was like chasing a finish and like gassed himself out.
That's right. Okay. You know what? Now that I'm remembering this, I walked in on this. I think I missed the first half of the first round, actually, because I was coming back from the Wiz show. We'll talk about that in a little bit too. But yeah, so I was like not fully tuned in, had just turned this on. But crazy back and forth. And also, I was really impressed with D-Rod. I thought that Kevin Holland was going to smash him.
Dude, I mean, I had Kevin Holland. Did you have him on your fantasy team? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I think I did.
Yeah, but that's not a bad loser to have on your fantasy team because he's going to put up points.
Exactly. He's going to get knockdowns. He's going to, potentially get takedowns. He's going to have a lot of significant strikes.
I mean, we'll get into it later, but how we both of us had Poirier and Holloway.
Yeah. That was sick. I was like, I think we were thinking the same thing about that.
5-round fight. Crazy output. Pretty sure crazy output. Pretty sure it's going to a decision. So even in a loss, you're probably putting up points, especially in a 5-round fight. Even in a loss, you're probably putting up points similar to like a regular decision winner.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, no, overall, I would say this fight was really entertaining. It's everything you'd want out of a Kevin Holland fight and a D-Rod fight, I guess. He's pretty, entertaining to watch for the most part. I was just really surprised because I thought that D-Rod was done. He looked really good. So, yeah, that's kind of it.
Cool. All right, Dan Ige versus Patricio Pitbull. Pretty much went like kind of how I thought it was going to go, except I expected more action. It was a pretty boring fight, except for the moments where there was action. There's a lot of like no action. And in fact, I think that's what got Pitbull the win.
Oh, just lack of activity from Dan Ige?
No. I think Pitbull was more resistant to the crowd's boos than Dan Ige.
Oh, gotcha.
So here goes how I saw it going down. This is not me. I did not predict this. I didn't predict this. This is how I felt what was happening. So it was a close fight. Pitbull, I thought he dropped him. He has no knockdowns.
Yeah, but dude, I don't trust their. Oh, dude, is there knockdowns on this?
Yeah, the very first stat after the odds is KD knockdowns.
Oh yeah. Huh, interesting. Yeah, I don't trust the UFC when it comes to takedowns or knockdowns because sometimes they're a little screwy on that.
Yeah, that's true. So anyhow, the fight was relatively uneventful, and then in the second round, the crowd starts letting them know. Mm-hmm. Right? They start booing, and I felt like that did not impact Patricio at all. I felt like he was like, I don't hear you. I don't care. Yeah. Maybe, boo means something else to me. I don't care. But I think it impacted Dan Ige, and it made Dan Ige be like, oh, I got to make something happen. And I think that was the moment when he went to make something happen. That's when Patricio landed that really nasty right hand, put him down, and that kind of secured that round. I also feel like in the first round, I mean, I guess it was competitive in the first round. Where are the takedowns at? Okay, yeah.
Second to last.
Yeah. Like Patricio, he had some really good takedowns in this. But I remember in the first round he took him down and then had him in that cradle, and they like just like held that cradle for a while.
Yeah.
Do you remember that by chance?
I didn't see this fight.
Oh, okay, never mind. We're not going to talk about it much. But it was kind of a lackluster performance on both parts. Just like I felt like they just actually kind of don't match up well together.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, looking at the stats, it clearly looks like Pitbull won. I mean, obviously we know that's not the whole story, but like,
I mean, Pitbull won, no doubt in my mind. There was no doubt in my mind. I mean, I had him, first off, I had him on my fantasy team and I had him in my picks.
Yeah.
Like, I thought he was going to win this fight.
Interesting. See, I didn't feel that. I thought that he was washed at this point. I thought Ige looked really good in his last win, and I thought that Pitbull looked not so great in his.
Yeah, but he was competitive with Yair.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
And I would put Yair on a different level than Ige. All due respect to Dan Ige,
of course.
But like, I'd say that's a different level, and I would say like doing like, literally like I didn't even. I would say not even taking into account all of Pitbull's past fights that I have watched.
Yeah.
Right? Just taking his UFC fights into account, which made him 0-1. I felt like his loss to Yair made me think that he would beat Dan Ige.
Yeah.
Like,
I just read that wrong 100%. Yeah. You totally saw that in a all more accurate
let's
light.
get to this fight though. So Michael Johnson versus Daniel Zellhuber. First off, I am always been a fan of Michael Johnson. I am now a fan of this Zellhuber kid.
Dude, don't you remember his fight against Ribovics?
Yeah, I remember it, but like
that made me a fan.
Okay, so like there's different levels of fandom.
Yeah.
So I'm a fan of him as a person.
Oh, okay, got you.
Like there was like a lot of his personality came out, and like I'm a sucker for like good sportsmanship.
Oh, dude, me too.
You know what I mean? And like there were moments in the fight that like maybe some people don't like or whatever, but when Michael Johnson shorts rip, did you see this fight? Oh, so
we've been over all the fights I've seen. First
round, Michael Johnson cracks him, drops him. Does he crack him and drop him, or does he catch a kick or something? I can't remember, but he's down, right? I feel like he did drop him. And he's on top, swarming him, and Zellhuber's throwing like up kicks. And to me, I think a heel got caught in the short.
And ripped it.
And it ripped the shorts, and then Michael Johnson grabs the rip part and just tears it off, right? Yeah. And throws it away or whatever. And then they like separate back up, and then Zellhuber gets back up, and they both like look at each other like,
what do we do?
Like, holy crap or whatever. And like Johnson just like throws it off, and then they look at it and they're just like, can you believe this? Yeah. They end up putting new shorts on Johnson in between rounds.
Dude, hold on. Along those lines, that happened to Ian Gary. That happened to someone else recently, and now it's happened to Michael Johnson. Do you think that Venom is just putting out like shitty quality shorts, or do you think it just so happens to have
Dude, it could just be like luck of the draw or whatever, but like, and maybe it's like the intensity of the fight, but like if you think about it like this, I've never seen shorts ripped before.
Dude, me either. And we've been doing this for what? Like,
I mean, I've been fighting since 2007.
Yeah.
I've never seen shorts rip in a fight ever.
Well, also before that,
cornering fights.
You were grappling.
I've been grappling. I've been watching fights, right? Like, do you recall any shorts ripping prior to Ian Gary was the first one, I think.
He's the first one I can think of.
Yeah, prior to that.
And there was one other guy I can't remember, and then this.
And like whatever, let's say like that Ian Gary one, that was against Shavkat.
I want to.
It was against Shavkat.
Yeah.
So that was like, let's call it November of last year, maybe earlier.
Yeah.
But it's been less than a year.
Yeah.
And every shorts rip we saw in our 18 years of consuming mixed martial arts. Well, actually 20. I mean, I definitely was watching it because 2005, I think, was the Ultimate Fighter. 2005, 2006 was Ultimate Fighter 5, which was BJ Penn versus Jens Pulver, and it was the lightweights, and like Nate Diaz was on it and stuff. That was the first Ultimate Fighter that I was like, yeah. I watched the Ultimate Fighter 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, but I don't think I watched them live.
Right.
I may have watched 4 live.
But either way, you had some buzz around it. Like,
yeah.
You were excited.
And I've never, all those fights, you think all those pay-per-views, all those UFC fight nights, all those UFC on Versus, WEC cards, Strikeforce cards, Bellator cards, like all these fights that I've watched, all the local fights I watch, I never see shorts rip.
Dude, that's what I'm saying.
The shorts be ripping left and right now.
Even in local fights where dudes are just wearing like whatever they want, I'm not seeing shorts rip, dude.
There's dudes up in there in and1 basketball shorts. I didn't see these didn't even rip. Yeah.
Dude, for real. Yeah, man. I wonder if Venom is just kind of like, not putting out a good quality product. That's interesting. Well, either way, okay, so that was the part, like that was the cool part, is like seeing
there was many parts during it and through it and stuff. I don't know. Zellhuber definitely fought tough. I think he won the third round. He lost the first 2 rounds.
Oh, okay.
I think he trains with Eric
Wait,
Nixon.
hold on. Wait a minute. Michael Johnson won. I didn't even look at the results.
Oh, yeah. Michael Johnson dug in his ass, boy. Yeah. No, Michael Johnson beat the shit out of him. Yeah. No.
Dude.
Yeah. But Zellhuber followed, like, so they put the camera in Zellhuber's corner in between the second and third round. And Eric Nixon, his coach, was one of the coaches in the corner, and he was giving instructions. And the instruction he gave him, he was like, kick the shit out of him, go straight up the middle, and stuff. And Zellhuber followed it to a T, and I think he won the third round. But he needed a finish. He was already down 2 rounds.
Gotcha.
So too little, too late. Michael Johnson looked fucking good.
Dude,
it wasn't
so
Zellhuber looking bad. It was Johnson looking good.
Dude, this is interesting.
Also, this was the biggest swap on the card. Johnson was the biggest dog, and Zellhuber was the biggest favorite. Well, obviously.
Right.
But, yeah.
Dude, so something else just to like touch on, with all due respect to all parties involved, but I had seen a like just some like meme or whatever on Instagram about D-Rod starting to like turn his career around now that USADA isn't, the testing company or whatever for the UFC. And do you think that, not necessarily with these guys, but just do you think in general, do you think there's more guys on the sauce now that USADA's not involved?
No.
Interesting.
I don't.
Yeah.
I mean, what because some fighters late in their career are like doing okay. Mm-hmm. Like who?
Those are the only 2 examples I have right now.
Yeah,
it's
come
just
on,
a thought
dude.
That came to my
Like,
head.
you know what I mean? Like, no, nothing in Michael Johnson's performance. First off, they both fought on this card. Nothing led me to believe like they found a fountain of youth. They look the same,
Right?
Like they just fought good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't even know what the difference is between USADA and whatever testing, company UFC's using now. You know what I mean? Like it could be the same thing.
I'm pretty sure it's probably pretty similar. Yeah. But Michael Johnson looked real good. One thing I really like about Michael Johnson that I would like to talk to you about, that's interesting. I don't know if you recall it in like his past fights, but he like throws like jab cross jab.
Yes.
But that it's not like jab cross jab. It's like jab cross.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Because he gets so much torque turnover on his cross that when that right comes back, it's like just throwing like a leg like a legs mixed cross.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he throws it over the top. Right? Like he throws it like a ball.
Yeah.
Like closer to throwing a ball than a punch.
And especially a lot of his fights are open stance, so that's kind of sneaking over the shoulder there.
That's what he dropped him with.
Oh, that's incredible.
And like the way he throws it so like hard.
Yeah. What he does really well, it's exactly what you said. It's so where most people mess up when they throw, a rear hand across, right, is their front shoulder gets like stuck. So if you're southpaw and you're throwing, a straight left hand, a lot of times people will pull their shoulder back just to
parallel their chest instead of letting it go through.
And that is a game changer on the distance you get on it.
You know what I think causes that? You know what I think causes that?
Is he a right-handed southpaw?
Huh?
Is he a right-handed southpaw?
Oh, he might. I don't know. Nothing about him. So nothing had led me to believe that he was a right-handed southpaw. Like the many things that led me to believe Dustin was a right-handed southpaw, which I thought I was out here like dropping some info. They were openly talking about it on the broadcast. I was like, bro, like I've watched every single fight he's ever had in the UFC or WEC, and I've actually watched some fights before then.
Yeah.
I never heard you guys talking about it. It's like, oh, this is the retirement fight, so now no one can scout. That's what it felt like to me. You know what I mean? I was like, why have you never said this before? Oh, like, were you looking? Because it was DC saying it too. I was like, were you looking out? Like, were you like? But since it's a retirement fight, it doesn't matter. Out, like now, like Max, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So like I didn't know that, but I'm not sure about Michael Johnson in that case potentially. But what I think it is, I think it's like a sparring bad habit, because like if you spar to like a degree like of like you do a little too much pulling. You know what I mean? Next thing you know, you're not really letting your cross shoulder cross that threshold and stuff.
Yeah.
And that's something that I always noticed is like my cross would come up short a lot, and like I could be like, dude, and I'd just like sit there and I'm like, turn your shoulders, and then I'd watch film of my fights and my cross shoulder would be way out there.
Yeah.
I'd be like, yeah, okay. So whenever, at least in my case, when it came time to throw it for real, I threw it for real, but I could see that impacting other people, like, you know, you just repetition. Next thing you know, you go to throw it for real, and like you don't really let that shoulder.
Right, you just kind of arm punching it.
Yeah. But yeah, a great fight. Great for Michael Johnson, 39 years old, still at it.
Unreal.
He now, where was he on the list? He's high on he might have the most knockdowns in lightweight history.
Wow, that's incredible.
I think he just tied Melvin Guillard, which is, I think him and Melvin Guillard both have 13. Isn't that crazy?
Dude, that
it's
is
like nuts. Michael Johnson and Melvin Guillard, who's been out of the UFC for a hot minute, just fought actually recently.
Wait, there's Melvin Guillard?
Melvin Guillard just fought. There's this dude. I follow him on Instagram. Lucas would know him. He trains at Immortal. He's a welterweight. He got a shot in the UFC to take a short notice fight, and he was going to fight JDM, short notice. And when they were doing his pre-fight medicals, they found something in his brain, and they had to stop the fight. They stopped it. Josiah Harrell.
Okay.
I might have messed that up.
Oh, either way.
But really good, obviously really good welterweight. Right. Got the call to the UFC, but like, you know, they found like something with his brain. It's all good. He's been fighting again, but he didn't get to go to the UFC.
Right.
He just beat Melvin Guillard.
Dude, that's nuts. I can't believe.
Like within the last 2 months, I'm gonna say.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Damn. Well, good for Michael Johnson.
Yeah. All right, dude. Okay, Kyler Phillips versus Vinicius Oliveira. Bro. I don't know. I got nothing good to say here.
Right on. Let's keep it moving.
Kyler Phillips was running. Vinicius Oliveira looks about that life, though. Just gonna say that. All right, Marvin Vettori versus Brendan Allen. Brendan Allen with the decision here. I thought he was going to finish the fight in the first 90 seconds. He had his back and he had an arm under the chin. Vettori able to escape that. A little bit of back and forth, but ultimately I just feel like, you know what's crazy? Can you zoom in or can you not? Is that a max only thing?
I think it's a max
All right, I'm going to
thing.
lean forward. How many strikes did Brendan Allen throw versus...
Total or significant?
Total.
Total strikes, 119 to 115.
But thrown.
Yeah. Total thrown. Oh, sorry. Those were landed. 262 for Vettori and 233 for Allen.
I felt like one of the things was Brendan Allen. One of the things is Brendan Allen was busier. He was not. Like Vettori threw 30 more strikes than him. But like, if you like, I don't have these metrics in front of me while I'm watching the fight.
Right.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I would have said, like, if you're like, oh, who's thrown more strikes? I'd be like Brendan Allen. Maybe because he was landing more, but like he barely.
Also, if they're on the ground and Vittori's like, you know what I mean? Like they count.
There wasn't much. Like I'm talking about on the there wasn't. Yeah. I don't think that was that big of a disparity. But 3 takedowns for Brendan Allen.
Dude, that's what was shocking to me. That's the first thing I looked at. I can't believe he got 3 takedowns and Vettori got none. Because normally I think of Vettori as like impossible to finish, right? Just like legendary chin.
Yeah.
And he just like
chin stood.
Rushes into takedowns and eventually gets them just because he's so aggressive with them.
Brendan Allen had his takedown in the first round was really impressive. Good timed on like a reactive shot. Came into the single like double leg, but the side opposite his head, Vettori got an underhook on. Right, so imagine you're in a double leg. Your head's on the left side. They get an underhook on your right arm. So he brought the right arm up to the neck and like ran the pipe.
Oh yeah,
and it was just like we've seen that before, but it was just super clean. So I liked it.
Dude, Allen's super.
And then he had a really great guard pass standing. He brought the hips in, passed the legs, punch, side controlled, and Turtle ended up taking the back, arm under the neck. But yeah, I gave it. I thought it was, Brendan Allen's fight. So yeah, that was good.
Yeah, and so did the judges.
Yeah. Here goes. Wait a second. No way. This is the spinner.
Which one?
He ended up winning. Nikolai Varentenikov.
Okay.
So this dude loves to spin, right? Yeah. So there was it this fight. Man, I wish Max was here. Damn, Max ruining the podcast on vacation. I'm pretty sure it was this fight, but Francisco Prado, Nikolai Varentenikov. There would be moments in this fight, like 4 times that Nikolai spun, right? All 4 times, way too close of a distance, like spinning kick to the body, like spinning. What do you call it?
Spinning back kick, spinning hook kick.
Spinning back kick, yeah.
Spinning wheel kick, whatever.
Yeah, whatever. But it wasn't to the head, so. But all times was too close. The first time, like, it was like no harm, no foul. It just got like stuffed. But the second, third, and fourth time, he got taken down, got his back taken and taken down from it, which like was like costing him the fight. Dude. But he still won the split decision here. I saw a lot of people disagree with this, which, as you see with split decisions, happens. But
yeah.
Nothing else of note there. Yo, boy, how you say that boy's name?
Ateba?
Yeah, Ateba. Dude, this dude.
Gaudier?
Bro, watch out.
Monster.
Max did say that they were sending this Valentin to slaughter. He's the dude who just got like wrestled. He got wrestled down so hard that the judges gave him a round because the other dude wouldn't do anything.
Yeah.
Right? You know what I mean? But in this fight, he just got, dude, just absolutely smoked. Like, how long did the fight last?
Minute and 10 seconds.
Dude, it lasted too long. It was crazy, dude. He was all over the place. Poor guy. I'm sure he's a great fighter, but
yeah, I mean, there's levels.
This dude was really good.
That's awesome.
All right. Oh, yo, this Islam.
Julatov?
Yeah, you.
He's
like
the
him.
model, right?
Yes, he's a model.
Okay.
You'd like him though. He was nice.
Yeah,
he was nice.
Oh, he's German. Interesting. Yeah, I saw a thing about him and like Ilya and Artem, and it was like, yo, all these dudes who are like good looking and rich getting into fighting, which is like not what you expect.
Yeah,
I didn't realize he was German. That's interesting.
Jimmy Crute's back. He looked good.
Okay.
What he first round armbar?
Yep. Yeah.
Ryan Spann up at heavyweight. Watch out, dude. Like, actually interesting at heavyweight. He looked really good, and he's athletic.
Huh. I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, he looked really good, and he's athletic. So I definitely want to keep my eye on him up at heavyweight. Bruno Fiera, another first round sub for him. Had him on the fantasy squad, and then Carly Judice. She won via TKO. She fought Unesi.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Gotcha.
Yeah. She cracks.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
All right. Well, that's his card,
dude. Overall, I would say. Now, granted, I only saw the last 3 fights, but just on like the hype I've seen and like your recount of it.
Go all the way to the bottom. Watch this. Okay.
Sounds like it was a sick card.
Fight 1. Is it, what round is that?
That is round 3.
Okay, but we got a TKO. Fight 2, round 1 sub. Fight 3, round 1 sub.
Yep.
Fight 4,
round
1 sub. Fight 5,
round 1
TKO. KO. Fight 6, round 1 KO. Fight 7, split decision. So we started off on 6 finishes in a row. You know?
That's sick.
Prelims were fire.
That's awesome, man. Super sick. Well, again, I only saw the last few fights, and that's because I was at the Wiz show. Luckily, Lonnie hooked up the homie and, backstage said what's up to some cool people. And one of the cool people that I got to hang out with was Terrence McKinney, right?
Terrence McKinney.
He got linked up with Lucas. They got a little picture together and everything. But when we're sitting there just like chatting about wrestling, whatever, I'm like kind of blanking out, and like especially you get them talking about wrestling. You got 2 wrestlers. You know how it is. You're gonna talk about wrestling. I'm just staring at Terrence, and I'm like, bro, don't you fight at lightweight? And he's like, yeah. And I was like, dude, you're huge. And he was like, oh yeah, I was like, no, like for real, like how big are you? And he was like, I'm like 190. And I was like, dude, that's pretty big for a lightweight. And like, if you see the picture of him next to Lucas, he looks like appropriately sized. But like, sometimes when you're actually next to someone, and especially when they look dense and they're also big, we were talking about something else, and I would just be like, how do you make weight? And I just like couldn't get off of it. I was shocked at how big he was. Also, it is no surprise when you meet him why he fights the way he fights, dude. The guy is leaking energy. He's just like one of those dudes who's like kind of constantly always moving a little bit and just seems like he's ready to go at all times. And just like, I'm like, oh, this makes sense why you're just ripping out first round finishes. Like,
Yeah.
that's just who you are. But he was super cool. And, you know, Lucas got to meet, you know, Wiz, and we met some like Steelers and stuff. So yeah, it was a good time.
That's pretty cool.
But that's why I missed those fights.
Yeah.
So
yeah, Lonnie was trying to get me to go, but last time I was there, I had to hold on to the earth.
hey man, you know, stuff happens.
Yeah. Staying home.
All right, is that enough about this card?
That's enough about this card.
Right on. Should we talk a little bit of local jiu-jitsu?
Yeah, a little bit of local jiu-jitsu. So this weekend, one of the Style PGH competitors, Claire Butterfield, went down to Virginia, compete in the IBJJF Virginia Open. This was her second IBJJF as a black belt. And she did a weight class up to get matches. So she competes at lightweight. She went up to middleweight, which I know, like, we're thinking MMA terms. Lightweight, middleweight, weight in jiu-jitsu, they're just one weight class apart. Right. It's not like there's no welterweight.
Yeah.
Right. So she went up to middleweight to get some matches because there was no one in the lightweight division. And she ended up taking second in middleweight. And then she registered for the open weight class, the absolute. And she took second in that as well. She got... In her weight class, she won her semifinal match by triangle armbar from the back. While she was up on points like 7-4 at the time, maybe even more. Maybe she scored. She was up decently at that point in time before the triangle armbar, and then she ended up losing in the final to a pretty seasoned competitor there, like pretty deep on the IBJJF circuit. This girl, she has medaled at majors at black belt. And then in the open weight, she won by arm lock in her semifinal match, and then ended up losing to the same girl again in the open weight. So double silver, but you know, it's big stuff at the adult black belt division.
Yeah.
She now has plenty of points to qualify herself for the world championships.
Yeah, that's so sick.
So now focus can be on, you know, getting better, preparation for Pan Ams, ADCC, East Coast Trials, and Worlds. Those will be like the three big things we're looking at. From there, healing up some injuries, a little bit of an ankle injury from the matches, and then a few weeks back she did the Detroit Open where she took second in the open weight, and her finals match was against a super heavyweight, and she had SC joint issue from that match. But yeah, so good on Claire, you know, putting it on the line. She's Masters eligible, but running the adult division.
So sick.
Yeah, that's hard. All right, cool. Let's move on to this week's card.
Yeah, which is, dude, this is fun. We don't have fights coming up this weekend. I think I'm actually going to get to, like, watch this card.
Dude, that is fun.
Should we start at the top?
What time is this card? Like, where's this card at?
It's in Abu Dhabi.
Right.
And I believe it's a 3
main card,
yeah,
3 p.m. So prelims at noon.
Ooh, I'm going to miss those.
Whoa. Hold on.
Unless someone else is running practice. Might have to call Jonas. Start at the top?
Let's start at the top. So we got Robert Whittaker versus Rene de Ridder. How long has it been since Whittaker fought Chimaev?
That's a good question. I'm not sure.
Well, you know, that's a pretty serious injury.
It's a very serious injury. With that said, the only thing I think that could affect Whittaker with is like his willingness to like step into the fire. If he's like, oh, dude, I don't know if my jaw is like ready for it. You know what I mean? Or maybe I guess some grappling exchanges too. Like he might like freak out a little bit. You know?
You know what? I wonder. You know, like mouthpiece is a top teeth. I wonder if you could do a bottom one.
You can, but then it would mess with your breathing.
But what if you didn't do a top one?
Oh.
What if you just went bottom? They can't, like, all you need is a mouthpiece. That's a mouthpiece.
Yeah.
Like, here goes the thing. They're not like, when they don't check your mouthpiece, right? Like, they check that you have a mouthpiece. Right? Your mouthpiece can be, and trust me, we know, your mouthpiece can be a piece of shit, dude. It can be basically like, dude, some fighters go in there with the $3.19 mouthpiece that you boil from Dunham Sports, bro, and it's not protecting shit. Dude. It's just there to say that you have it.
Dude, you could take like a tire, like you know, like a bike tire, and just cut off like a 2-inch strip of it and just throw it in your mouth, and that'll give you better protection than the bullshit they've got.
So yeah,
that's interesting. I wonder if you would go bottom or whatever, but yeah, probably not. Has that ever happened to you? I remember like 2 very specific times where I got punched right there, like right in the bottom teeth, and I like felt it like in my teeth. I was like, oh, that's not good. Have you ever had moments like that?
I did have these teeth. Luke Burdett got these ones.
Oh.
Yeah. But that's whenever I was wearing those 319 Dime Boylan fights.
Yeah.
That's before I found out about like
The real ones.
good mouth guards. Yeah.
That's hilarious. All right. Well, okay. For what it's worth, I don't think the injury is going to impact Whittaker. I think he's pretty smart. I don't think he'd come back if it was an issue.
Right.
With that said, I am predicting that he's going to lose. I think that De Ridder is a really complete fighter. I think that Whittaker is like, I don't think he's like degraded in terms of his like chin necessarily or his skill set. But like he's just one of those dudes who's been around forever, and it just feels like he's like due to be on his way out, which is crazy because he's only
They're both 34.
Dude, that's nuts. Okay, he's like a big nog type dude where it's like objectively for middleweight he's not old, but like he's just been around for so long,
forever.
Yeah, that it just feels like the career is going to start weighing on him.
What's his record? I can't see that.
27-8.
27-8. All right, so he's got 35 fights to De Ridder's 22.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah, but so I have no like real reason to feel like or to point to and be like this is why I think he's on the way out. But there is just that feeling of like him declining and RDR on the way up.
De Ridder fight. We've seen him fight Bo Nickel. We've seen him fight Gerald Mearshart, and there's one more
in the UFC.
Did he not have a third one in the UFC?
I thought Mearshart was his first one, and then, dude, hold on. I can actually find out. I can click on him. Can I? Oh yeah, here we go.
Full profile.
Guys, if this is
Rene De Ridder,
terrible podcast.
Gerald Mearshart, Kevin Holland.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. He subbed Holland. Okay.
Here goes my thing here. I don't know.
Dude, the Malikan fight was only last year? That's nuts. All right. What do you think about this fight?
It's an interesting fight. Can you see the odds up there? What according to ESPN Bet?
Oh, I see. 125 for De Ridder and
plus,
minus,
so he's the dog.
Yeah, I think that's
I'm interested to see how he does. I think that Whittaker is the best striker that he's going to see.
Yeah,
I mean Kevin Holland's a fairly decent striker, but
Whittaker's better.
Whittaker I would say is a level better, and
Holland
like
at middleweight.
Kevin Holland can go to he just fights at welterweight.
Yeah.
At any given time.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I'll be interested. This will be an open stance fight. We got a southpaw versus an orthodox. Dude, I mean,
It's definitely close. I'm leaning De Ridder.
if I was an odds maker, these odds are like pretty spot on.
Yeah. I think these odds are good. Again, I just have that like feeling that RDR is going to win, but I have no like that's not based on any like good like data.
I think I'm going to go De Ridder as well.
Yeah. I like both of them. I probably like Whittaker more, and I probably want him to win, but I feel like RDR's got it.
Yeah.
I think he's just like very complete. He's also okay. Maybe here's a good reason why I could take De Ridder. De Ridder's good at implementing his game. You know what I mean? Like think about what he did to Nickel.
Yeah.
He's like, okay, we're gonna grapple on my terms. Like I'm not gonna shoot on you. Like I'm just gonna make you clinch, fire knees, and if we go to the ground, great. But like he does stuff like that. And like I could see him potentially doing that to Whittaker because he is a big dude. I mean he's what 6'4", yeah, and he's like thick. I don't know how he makes weight, but
Yeah. I'm leaning De Ridder, but I got nothing like revolutionary for it.
Yeah, me either.
In the co-main, we got Peter Yan versus Marcus McGee. I remember I was actually in our trio. I was the one who knew about that fight.
You were? Dude, you
Yeah.
knew about that like a year ago.
Yeah, dude, it felt like forever ago. But Joe Riggs said it. Joe Riggs is a coach where Marcus McGee is, and he said it on a podcast. And then I said it to Max. Max was like, no.
If I haven't heard about it, it's not happening.
No. And then, we found it. So, yeah, I mean.
Man, not only did we not say Max is right about Holloway, we're not even.
Well, we didn't get to the picks yet.
Fair enough.
I don't recall what Max said about Holloway anyhow.
Yeah, dude, can't remember.
I really don't remember.
You know what, dude? I think he chose Poirier.
I know he chose Holloway, but I don't remember his like breakdown rationale.
Hilarious.
I kind of remember like having him talk, and then I was like, "You're dumb." Yeah, what did I say? I can't remember. Whatever. Let's move. All right. Yeah, who you got in this?
I got Yan.
Yeah, I got Yan too. I think he's super complete.
Yes.
Marcus McGee, though, I really like him.
He's good. He's really good.
I know that he took some time. Tim has spoken with him.
Oh, interesting.
So due to that, and like he was like like helpful for Tim.
Mm-hmm.
I really think he's a really good person to take his time to do something like that.
Yeah, that's super cool. I don't know. I mean, I can't remember too many of his fights. I do remember he has like a high output, which we can see in the stats there. But that's kind of all I remember about him, to be honest. Whereas Jan is just a monster. Like super good everywhere. So I think I got to go with Jan. Oh, dude, and look, Jan's 32. He's 35. At that weight, I feel like that's kind of significant.
Yeah. Yep. All right. The Bullet versus Marc-Andre Barriault.
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm definitely going the Bullet here.
Dude, I want to say Bullet, but after that last performance, I know he had some excuse. He got outstruck
MVP.
by... Was it MVP? Was that his last one?
Yeah. What are you talking about? Like, after that performance? Dude. What, you don't think MVP's good?
No, I think MVP's super good.
Yeah, MVP. It was just MVP right there.
Okay, gotcha. I thought that perhaps he had another one because I remember his last performance, he didn't look great.
No, yeah.
Also, he said that there was something going on. I don't think he like mentioned exactly what it was. But
I think I picked MVP over him. So, like, I'm not like... So him, if I picked MVP to beat him at that time, him losing the MVP doesn't change the way I think about him then, because that is, of course, standard. Yeah. So yeah, I got him in this fight.
I'm pretty sure I picked him over MVP, although I obviously big fan of MVP and definitely thought he had ways to win. Yeah, I think that was just kind of a letdown for me. Yeah, I'm still gonna go with him. What's that guy? 17-9. Yeah, I'm gonna go Shara, and I think that the UFC sees him as a big. Oh, dude, he's also a massive favorite. Yeah, I'm gonna go with him for sure. With that said, I think that he's gonna be firmly one of those like in the top 15, maybe see the top 10, but I don't see him like getting above that, to be honest.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
All right, we got Almabayev versus Ochoa. This is a flyweight belt. We love them flyweights.
Love it. Almabayev, he's the one. Didn't he just fight?
Click on his profile.
Maybe I'm mixing him up with somebody else, but
oh, he's the one who got poked in the eye by
Cop. That's right, dude. So yeah, technically he lost that. With that said, I mean he was losing, but Cop like very clearly finished him off of an eye poke. And before that, he was on a nice little streak there. So, with a win over our boy the Starfish. Yeah, man, this is interesting.
Bro, you know who the Starfish has a win over? Joshua Van.
Oh, that's right.
Like 13 months ago.
Yeah. Yeah. 13 months and like 12 fights ago.
Give me Ochoa's profile, please.
Let's take a look at him. Okay, he lost to Kavanaugh.
Dude, okay. Yeah, I can't do it. Yep, I'm definitely going Almabayev.
Yeah, I'm leaning that way as well. What are the odds on this? It is...
I cannot see that.
Minus 105.
What?
And minus 115.
Okay, oh my God, so he's the dog. Almabayev's the dog. Oh, it might be time to fire up the account.
Interesting.
Put some units on that. What? Is that... Okay.
What are you looking at?
I didn't know Bryce Mitchell was on this card.
Oh, yeah.
I wouldn't have expected him to be on the prelims.
Yeah, I think the UFC is rightfully so punishing him, but yeah, that makes sense.
Is it punishing him or punishing them? Right? Like,
yeah, I guess if you put
how do you punish a fighter? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, I put him in the prelims, right? Like, he's a ratings guy,
right?
So you're punishing
plus
yourself, and this is a free card anyhow, so you're not trying to get people to buy the pay-per-view.
Yeah, and not only that, but I think along your lines, especially if you mismatch him and you give him guys who you think are going to beat him, then like a lot of people are going to tune him to see him get beat. So like, yeah, maybe it's not a punishment, but either way, yeah, that's where he is. Should we talk about this last one on the main card though?
Krylov, Nikita Krylov versus Bogdan
Guzkov.
I don't know either of these dudes.
I think I saw Krylov fight before. I'm leaning towards him.
I'm going to abstain.
Yeah, who cares?
All right, so click on this. So we got Bryce Mitchell versus Saeed Nurmagomedov. Click on his profile, please.
Which one? Nurmagomedov?
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
Interesting.
Okay.
Very interesting.
All right, I'm going Bryce Mitchell.
Man, I think you're right. I think Mitchell is going to win this.
Now here goes the thing, though. So here goes the wild card factor to this. How does Bryce Mitchell do going to 135? You know what I mean? How does that weight cut affect him? Maybe he was supposed to be at 35 this whole time. He did kind of look smaller and skinnier up at 145, so maybe it's not going to be a crazy, terrible cut. But I did grapple him. I did some wall wrestling with him, and that boy was strong.
Yeah, so the thing about him is physically, he looks like he's not like super, super dense. So I think he can make it down. I think he's got that farm boy strength, which I think will absolutely carry over. I don't think that the weight cut's going to be a problem for him unless he does it completely wrong, which, given that, Bryce Mitchell's a complete idiot, I wouldn't be surprised if he does it wrong. So I'm hoping that's the case, and I hope that Saeed starches him. With that said, I don't think that's what's going to happen. I think that Mitchell's going to make 35 no problem. I think he's going to out-grapple Nurmagomedov, which is a wild thing to say. And I think he's going to get a win. Yeah,
I do too. It'd be if bantamweight's a good weight for him, it'll be interesting to see him there.
Yeah.
Because I think like he kind of can feel like that Aljo style, right? Like so, right. Aljo moved up, Mitchell down. He kind of feels that character, that archetype.
Yeah, the super controlling top game. Yeah, I could see that. With that said, I hope that we don't have to see it because I hope that Saeed starches him in the first 30 seconds and that Bryce never fights again. But yeah,
dude,
fuck Bryce. All right. Should we even talk about any of these fights? Are you interested in any of this?
No.
Yeah. All right. Cool. All right. So official picks then. We're both going to Ritter.
Yes.
We gave our picks the whole way down. Max will figure it. Actually, should we just put them all in one spot so it's easy for Max?
Yeah.
All right. So we've both got to Ritter. We've both.
Do you want to pull Max's picks up?
Yeah. Let's talk picks. Actually, we had an interesting thing happen in our this last week here. One of us
went 0-6.
Went 0-6 on the picks, and that was me.
So that pulls us within one fight now.
Yeah. So
I didn't do much better. I went 2-4,
which thank God that you did because otherwise you'd be winning right now.
And then what? Max went 3-3.
No, he. Oh yeah, he did. Yeah,
because he had Holloway, Costa, and
Allen.
Yeah.
Which, dude, Holloway, it's like okay, yeah, that could happen. Costa, I could see it happening, but I definitely thought Kopylov was going to win. Dude, actually, Brandon Allen, that actually makes sense as well. All of his picks were decent, whatever. But yeah, so the final standings are, I'm still in the lead, 59-42. You're right there at 58-43. Max is still a good bit below at 51-50.
Yeah.
Still with a winning record. So yeah, that's where we're at, dude. Things are heating up.
All right. Did he text you his picks? He texted us the picks.
Yes. So his picks are Whittaker.
Okay. Which is interesting. So we're going against him there.
He's got Jan. We all do. Okay. Which makes no. Yeah, we all have Jan. Based on Max.
That's his favorite fighter. Did he take the bullet?
No, he did not.
Okay. So we're going against Max there.
Yep. And then he has Almabayev.
Okay. We're unanimous there.
Uh-huh. And then he has Guskov, which
we didn't pick that.
We're abstaining from. I would take Krylov. I don't know. Let's just abstain from that. I don't know anything about it. And he also has Bryce as well.
Okay. So do you have Bryce or did you end up taking Nurmagomedov?
I have Bryce. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So not too much parity there. I guess at least some parity because we don't have any picks different.
Us?
Yeah.
No, we don't.
No. So I can't gain on you. But Max can make some traction.
Yeah.
Here.
Should we discuss what we're thinking of doing since our last little betting segment?
Yeah. So this week we played fantasy MMA.
Just the three of us.
So on DraftKings, it's a whole separate app. It's not your DraftKings Sportsbook app, the DraftKings Fantasy app. And what you do is you select a 6-fighter roster. You are given $50,000 imaginary dollars to draft your roster. And each fighter, that's your salary cap. Each fighter costs a certain amount of, dollars towards your salary cap.
Usually somewhere in the 7,000 to 9,000.
Yeah, 7,000, 9,000. I think my top fighter was the Bruno whatever. He ended up winning by first round armbar. He was $9,700, and I think like my worst fighter was Patricio Pitbull, who was $7,700. So like there goes like a range. But I was able to secure on my team. I
can pull up your lineup right now.
Pull up the lineup, boy.
So Mike had Dustin Poirier,
Max Holloway, which that's something we should talk about.
Pitbull, Kyler Phillips.
That's right, Kyler Phillips.
Brendan Allen,
and
Ferreira.
You had?
I had Dustin Poirier, Max Holloway. I had Paul Costa. I had Kevin Holland. I had Marvin Vittori and Dulatov.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yep. And Max had.
Hold on, let me pull him up.
Max had Holloway.
He had
Costa, Holland.
Holloway, Costa, Holland. He had Prado. He had Gaudier, however you say his name, and Pacino.
Okay, yes. So those were our 6 fighters. Now you don't know who everybody's fighters are until it starts. Once it starts, lineups become available. So it's like you have to lock them in by the time fights start. And once it starts, they're available. And then it's scored based on like how they do in the fight, right? Like I don't know this exactly, but I do know like a knockdown. If they score a knockdown, that's 10 points. If they get a takedown, that's 5 points. If they get a reversal or a sweep, that's 5 points. Strikes are worth like 0.2 or something.
Yeah,
significant strikes are worth 0.4 or something along those lines.
Yeah.
And then it tabulates. Control time is worth something per second. And it tabulates all that up, and you're ended up with a score. And then also
the big scores. Or is this what you're about to get?
Yeah,
to?
like wins, right? Like first round win, second round win, third round win, or decision win type thing. Then that's also allotted a certain amount of points per.
Which I believe is 30 for decisions.
I have no idea. The only things that I actually know is takedown, sweep reversal, and knockdown.
I'm pretty sure that this is how it works. I think it's 30 points for a decision win, 60 points for second round, 90 points for first round.
That makes sense.
The ideal would be someone who goes out, gets 2 knockdowns, 2 takedowns, wins a million strikes, and then the final strike in the last second of the first round is a knockout. Like that would be like the perfect fight.
Yeah, that's the other thing about it is like, it's like 90 points for a first round finish, but you got to think like you're not getting much other than that because like if you're scoring off of strikes, like imagine like we go out there, slide it at, boom, knockout, right? First round knockout. Well, maybe it happened on my 4th striker fight.
Yeah.
So I got 4 strikes, the first round knockout, that's going to be a knockdown. So literally that score could be like 102 points.
Exactly.
Whereas like, someone could win a decision, like I'm sure like Max Holloway scored more than that, because of all the significant strikes and stuff throughout the 5 rounds, which goes like some strategy, right? So this is my first time playing. You've played.
I've played a handful of times,
Handful of times. But the strategy that I took in it, I saw Dustin Poirier and Max Holloway both in an affordable range. Both in a range where I'm like, okay, so if you break 50 G's down, divide it by 6, right? It's like 8 and change. You know what I mean? It's like 8,300 and something around there, right? And I think Max was like 8,300 and Dustin was like 8,000.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, you can easily get them both on your team and they're not affecting what you have next. And my thought process on it was they're going to put numbers up. I did think Poirier was going to win. I thought he was going to win a decision, right? And I thought Max Holloway was going to land a shit ton of strikes.
Yep.
And I thought Dustin was going to land a shit ton of strikes. So I saw them throwing up big points, even with one of them guaranteed a loss, but it also guarantees one of them a win.
Exactly.
So that was my strategy for having them both on. I'm assuming that was similar strategy to you having them both 100%. On. Yeah. And then I just kind of ran down and I was like, all right, well, I actually think Pitbull's going to win. And he's actually slated at $7,700, which means that they think he's not going to win.
And it's interesting kind of what you're saying, and like this is why I think fantasy is really cool, is it's not just if they're going to win, it's how they're going to win.
Yes.
And it's also like how they're going to lose, because if you have a guy with crazy power fighting a guy with like really good durability, you might take the guy with crazy power because you're like, even if he loses, maybe he'll get multiple knockdowns. And like or a really good wrestler like Marab, I bet gets a gazillion points because he gets however
10
many
takedowns right there. Yeah. That's 50 points just on takedowns.
Right. So, you have to look at styles and you have to look at the cost, like you said. So I find it to be a very interesting game.
Yeah.
So
this week, Max came in 3rd.
You want me to read off the scores?
Let's read off the scores.
All right. So Max came in 3rd with 429.5 points. Now, Max, I don't think he understood exactly why you and I were gonna win.
Yeah.
For sure.
Whenever I was like, yeah, it comes down to this fight for me and you.
And he was like,
and I thought it came down to the fight. I was like, if Costa wins, you're gonna win. But Costa won, but didn't get enough points.
I know, dude. So Max lost, right? I got a very respectable 475.49 points, right?
Yeah.
And again, we had gotten down to a point where I just needed Costa to get literally one more point. And I would have won. So we're talking like 10 more strikes or whatever, you know, one takedown, one whatever. But unfortunately, Mike,
I did win.
Eked it out with 476.33 points.
So I won by 0.84 points
in your very first fantasy MMA fantasy go about ever.
Yeah. And like think about that, like the percentage of that, like, you know, like so like 1 point in that score is like, what is that? That's like,
it's like 3 strikes or something.
no, like 1 point in that. Well, yeah, like 3 strikes. But okay, but what I'm saying is, so like we were like right around the 500 thing. Mm-hmm. So 1 point is not even 1%. I beat you by
right.
It's 1/5 of a percent. So it's 0.2. So 1 point is worth 0.2%.
Yeah.
Right. And I beat you by less than that,
dude.
So I beat you by like 0.0 or 0.17%.
Yeah, dude, that's nuts. Yeah. Dude, that's what makes it exciting though, you know, and like leading up to that fight, knowing like this is the one that matters, you know, unless Max could have beat both of us had Holloway come out and just shot him.
Yeah, if he would have crushed Poirier, then Max could have won, because then Poirier would have scored like 12 points, and then that's what would have got us. Since all three of us had Holloway, we were all getting Holloway's points, so then it came down to Dustin's points. But at that point in time, when I was ahead of you going into that main event, you had no way to overcome it because we had the same picks.
Exactly.
Moving forward out. Yeah, so it's interesting. So we plan on doing that. We're going to do a listen to your coaches, you know, fantasy thing on DraftKings. We're going to make it free to enter. This one was free to enter. You don't need any money to enter into it. We'll just try to pack it up.
Yeah.
And like I said, like if I take a fighter, you can also have that. You don't know what people took until after it's over. We could end up with the same exact lineup. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So I don't know if we're going to start it for this upcoming card. Maybe we will, and we'll try to, you know, pump it out on our social media, or maybe we'll like get it all organized and figure out how it works, and then, you know, officially announce it on the next one. But either way, if you guys are interested in that, you know, keep your eyes open for it, because we'd love to get a bunch of people on board and talk some shit.
Yeah, I think it'd be fun. Yeah. All right, guys, that wraps it up for this week. Make sure to hit our socials, like, subscribe to us on YouTube and Spotify, and we'll catch you next time.